Super idol di Charo, donate me to 10 by Chung for the.
I played dragonage the Veilguard. How could you? No, I'm playing. Okay. I played it and I finished it last night or last evening on stream. Yes, I got my retainers in. I'm not taking these bitches out because I didn't have them in last night because I forgot to wear them to bed. So we're gonna wear them right now. So fuck you guys. Okay, whatever. Anyways, I played dragonage the Veilguard. It was something. Okay, it was something. Let's just say I enjoyed the game, okay? He enjoyed the game. No, I'm playing. No, I did enjoy the game, though. I did enjoy the game. It was somewhat fun to play, a little surprisingly, compared to all the shit I've been hearing and, like, digesting, compared to all the news and everything just negative. Oh, it's negative, right? Just what you've been hearing. Besides the random IGN 9 out of 10 scores and all that bullshit, I wouldn't say it's bullshit, but let's just... I enjoyed it, but it's not like a 9 out of... It's not a 9 out of 10, okay, guys? It's not a fucking 9 out of 10. At least in my opinion, right? And here's the thing. People been scared to say that whether they like the game or people are scared to like the game. I see people on the Reddit forums and the blogs are like, guys, am I wrong for liking the game or enjoying the game? No, what the fuck? Who the fuck cares? Nigga, if you like the game, you like the game. Who the fuck? Like, why are you trying to, like, oh, you're trying to, like, make your mind think, like, oh, no, if they think it's a bad game, then I gotta think it's a bad game. I gotta have a bad experience with it, No, nigga, if you like the game, you like the game. Fuck them. What the fuck? Nigga, it's, like, fuck them. What do you mean? If you like the game, you like the fucking game. Why is this an issue? Liking the game or not? Like, what? God damn, nigga, it don't matter. Enjoy the game, holy shit. But anyway, because so many people are just scared to like the game or say that they like the game. Like, if you like the game or enjoyed it, that's fine. Who the fuck cares, right? It's your opinion, and just like with my review, it's my opinion, all that bullshit. Who the fuck cares? If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, gaming got so toxic lately. I'm gonna need a couple more of these. But anyways, all right, but we're gonna start this review. So I did enjoy the game, but I do have like a lot of criticisms with it. Here's the thing though. Do I like it as a Dragon Age game? No, I don't. It's pretty much like, it might as well have been like its own fucking IP at this point. Goddamn, because we've strayed so far away from like what Dragon Age is, dude. But it's. But anyways, I mean, I enjoyed the game for it being a game, right? Okay, I enjoyed it. Yeah. Fun. A story. Yeah. But for it being a Dragon Age game, it wasn't really a Dragon Age game. It didn't feel like it at all. It didn't even give the vibes and shit. That's just how I felt. A lot of people feel that way too. I even saw I didn't watch his video, but I saw Big Dan's like title for his video. He's like, it's the worst Dragon Age game, but right, like, but so I don't know if he liked it or not, but yeah, I mean, for a Dragon Age game I didn't like it, but like for a game itself I enjoyed it. Yeah. Is it a good game? It depends on what type of gamer you are. That's the thing now. Like, there's a lot of discourse around this game because it's not really Dragon Age-ish, right? It doesn't give the vibes. And then you already have, like 3 different like types of games, 3 different Dragon Ages, and they're all pretty different, from each other. And so now you got a new Dragon Age, which was like very, very like, different from the other 3. And it's just like a whole bunch of discourse. But yeah, all those other games, I mean, people like them for different reasons. I mean, there's different gamers to the game. Like, people like Inquisition. Like, you got the fangirlies for solas. Like, oh my god, solas, and like all the romances and shit. And you got the people that like the story of the game, or like, you know, like the combat and shit for the game. And then you got Dragonage 2 and Origins, and then the other different type of gamers that like the games for, you know, whatever the fuck reason. So, I mean, it's just like a lot of discourse in that area. And then also, you got the woke, you got the DEI and motherfuckers, you know, yeah, just shouting shit. So, of course, I mean, this has been the most, holy shit, like, so much negative shit around this game, man. Like, holy hell, it's actually insane. But we're gonna review it. I gotta do my review. Goddamn, we're like 5 minutes in. But, yeah, I just want to say, I mean, like, if you like the game, you like the game. You don't like it, you don't like it. Like, don't be scared to say your fucking opinion, right? I mean, it's also better if niggas played the game, right? Like, you know, motherfuckers are shouting shit. They haven't even touched the game. They don't know about any of the other 3 games. You know, just shit like that. But anyways, I mean, whatever. I'm just ranting. You know, I can go on and on, but we're just going to get started. Anyways, so here's what I liked about the game and what I didn't like about the game, and then I'll give a rating at the end. And we're gonna read off of a list. I made a long-ass list. I was typing this shit at work, you know. It's a slow day. I had plenty of time. Hopefully I get everything in this video. We're gonna start off with character creator. Here's the thing with character creator. It got hyped up to be like really like oh my gosh, like we got all of this stuff, guys, and a lot of choices and details. And yeah, well, just because you put melanin, the word melanin, next to the fucking skin color don't mean like, oh guys, look at all these choices and these, you know, all these inclusive options and stuff. It don't mean shit. Anyways, yeah, I'll talk about that in a second, but let's just say, the hair took all the budget. The hair for the game pretty much took all the budget. But, you know, if you wanted other shit in the game, you know, just blame the people that, you know, that put all the fucking physics into the hair, you know. It's just everything. The hair is fucking amazing. You cannot deny that. You can hate this game all you want, but you cannot deny the voluptuous hair. That is just, oh my gosh, it's pretty fucking fire. There's like 25 black hairstyles, I think somebody said. Yeah, there's a lot of black hairstyles. I was fairly satisfied. Yes, I was represented. Let's go. Of course, we had the fucking Killmonger hairstyle. Of course, we just have to have that in every fucking video game for some fucking reason. Anyways. Oh my god. The infamous black haircut makes its way into Dragonage once again. Nobody wears this shit in real life. Nobody. Why is this a thing? Nobody fucking uses that hairstyle. Anyways, yes, we know the Quinari are ugly as shit. We already know. Yes, we've been over this. I made like 50 Dragonage videos. Okay, let's move on. Fuck. I mean, they're pretty much like dark elves, bro. I'm not even like being meaner. They just look like dark elves with like abnormally large fucking heads, you know. And you can cover that shit with like cosmetics or like rings or something. I think for Tosh, you know, you didn't really notice it. You know, it was fine because she had like the fucking rings around her horns and shit, so it covered like bits of her forehead, you know, so it wasn't that bad, you know. Color palettes are weird. Expected a little more. So with the color palettes, they're I don't know, I expected like a little, you know, not just like the, you know, you can click on this color, you can click on this color, and yeah, you can change the saturation and the brightness and shit. That's a little bit too much sliders, though. Just give us the big circle wheel, whatever, or like the little graph, and just make us like, you know, just slide it in one direction, slide it in the other direction. You can also have the palettes too, but I'm just surprised that they didn't have the little sliding thing, you know. You can just like, just move it around, like not click it, but just like move the slider around and it'll like change. But yeah, so that's that. Yeah, skin tones definitely threw me off, especially with the lighting. I had to keep going back to the mirror at the lighthouse because yeah, you do have the skin tones and shit. They're better than, they're way better than the other fucking games, you know. In Origins I was fucking purple, my guy. So yeah, that is definitely a good thing. Anyway, yeah, I was fucking purple, bro. And then in Inquisition, I just, you couldn't really tell because everything was like dark and green and shit. Here, it's kind of weird. They give you different lightings, but I can't really tell because I'm black, right? Okay, so I'm trying to find like the best color for me being black. You know, I'm not like super black, but I'm also not like fucking light skinned Michael Jackson type shit, right? You know, so it took a second. I had to keep going back to the mirror to like finally get it right. It just didn't look like you couldn't get it. I think like in the character creator is like a lot of light shining on your face, just like me right now. Yeah, but just like a lot of light shining on your face, so you can't really see what it actually is like in the game in those different environments. Even with the different lighting options, you know, it just didn't. I had to keep going back. Anyway, so that was annoying. But they still had. I don't know if they had my skin color. I guess they did. I don't know. I mean, I was satisfied, so I mean that's fine at the end of the day. It's like whatever. But anyways, you have three choices. Three choices from the character. Yeah, 3 choices. Oh wait, can I talk about the sliders before I forget? Yeah, the sliders. What sliders? You might as well not have had sliders in the game. You know, just have us have default builds. Everybody gets a default build. You know, the sliders are pretty ass. Yeah, and I mean, and I literally mean ass. Like, I mean, dude. There's no, you can't make the doinks. You can't make big old biddies. Like, I mean, that's fine, but like, okay, because I'm an A cup. But it's a problem when the maximum slider is 100%, and it's my fucking boob size. Guys, I'm an A cup. I don't even think I'm an A cup. I think I'm less than A. I'm like negative A. Holy shit, bro. I'm like a fucking S cup, bro. I'm an S cup. Yeah, no, but like, that's the maximum, and it's just like, what? Really? Like, it's pretty weird, but I mean, okay, whatever. I mean, it's not really a big deal for me. I mean, for the Gooners it is, but you know, yeah. But it is kind of like wild. It's just like, why even have the sliders there? Like, it barely makes a difference, you know. Also with the, I guess with the character creator and like the face shapes and shit, there's like a weird slider. You get to move your whole face around and shit. I mean, that was okay, but it was kind of, I don't know. It just felt like any other character creator in that sense, you know? I feel like it is kind of like any other character creator. They kind of hyped it up to be like, oh my gosh, you got all these details and shit. No, not really. I didn't feel that way with this character creator. It felt like, I mean, it's not like, it's just normal, you know? It just felt normal, you know? But anyways, we don't even... We're not even talking about the top surgery scars. I don't give a shit. It's not required, guys. Come on now. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, because I completely do not care. So we talk about the story. Before we get into the story, there's no origins. They teased origins. There is no return of origins. But you essentially get a summary of your origins, right? It doesn't play out like in Dragon Age Origins where, you know, we're expecting to have like an hour or two, like 2 hours of like just, or well, how long was it? Yeah, like 2 to 4 hours, 1 to 4. It depends how you went about it, but like, yeah, about 2 hours of just like your origin background. Like if you're a dwarf, you started in Orzammar. If you're a human, you started House Kuzland. If you're an elf, you started in the city elf. If you're a mage, you know, you started in the circle. What was it? The tower. You were in the fucking tower. So there were like different things that allowed like replayability. It wasn't here. Yeah, it wasn't. We didn't have it at all. You just go to like a small paragraph, and then everyone starts in Minrathis in that little bar fight shit. You know, you meet Varric and stuff. Yeah, you don't get that. And there is like little things. You know, the things that Asmongold was crying about. Like, oh no, I don't want to be trans. You know, they're done that little. I think it's like right when you come out of the tutorial fight or whatever, you get to the lighthouse, you get like a bunch of presents and shit, and then your character's like reminiscing or some shit, and so you're like, I guess they go over your background there too. You're just like, oh man, I remember this from, or oh, Varric got me this from. Oh, this is Varric's shaving cream. Why is Varric's shaving cream in my fucking room? It was Varric's shaving something. I don't know. Was it his mirror? I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was in my room. Anyways, yeah, it's just like a bunch of items in your room. You're reminiscing, and there's also this one part. There's like gender identity options, and yeah. So that was the thing. Asmongold was like, oh, but even though there's like a back button. It was actually kind of hilarious. He was probably doing it for clicks. I mean, I really don't give a damn. But anyways, it was kind of wild. I went down anyways, though. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it for Origins. Yeah. I mean, there's really isn't any. But anyways, so the story. Yeah, I'm reading off my phone. I don't give a damn. I will do slight edits in this, as you've probably been seeing. I don't know if I've been editing it or not, but I'm just yapping. I don't give a damn. Anyways, we have to stop Solas. We have to stop Solas. Yes, we have to stop Solas. Okay, that's the story. They say it to you so many fucking times. We have to stop Solas, but guys, we have to stop Solas. But guys. We have to stop Solas. We have to stop it. They just keep repeating it over and over again. Yes, we get it. We fucking get it, guys. We get it. Holy shit. Anyways, Solas is basically, though, like, trapped because we trap him from the ritual. He's trapped in the Fade the entire fucking game. So, yeah, it's like a Princess and the Frog situation. I remember watching that in theaters. Oh, everybody hype, you know, oh yeah, we got a black princess and shit, and then she's pretty much a fucking frog the entire time. I think she was in human form for like maybe 20 minutes of the entire movie. The rest of it, she was just like a fucking frog, bro. You know, yeah, that's how it felt with Solas. But I mean, I think I talked to him maybe like 5-6 times in the game. Yeah, I mean, outside of the tutorial, you know, tutorial little fight, but yeah, 5-6 times, you know, at most. And that's pretty much, that's all your Solas needs before the final battle and shit. And spoiler alerts, there will be spoilers. There's gonna be hella spoilers, or we're just going down this big ass list. So yeah, Princess and the Frog, yada yada. We pretty much stopped the ritual from Solas, you know, destroying the veil, because then everybody dies, and dying is bad. Dying is very bad. But no, but we stopped from doing that. But who got out? Oh, the game just can't end after like 15 minutes of playing it. So Gillenane and Edgarnon, or Elgarnon, oh my gosh, I call him Edgar, guys. I call him Edgar, and I call Gillenane Gil, whatever the fuck he's called. But yeah, they got out, and basically we gotta kill them. And then after that, and then, you know, we stop Solas. We stop Solas. But yeah, no, basically Solas is more of like an advisor type of person. He's just in the background, just guiding you, like, all right, you know, this is how you kill Elgarnon, and this is how you kill Gillenane, and shit like that. I mean, that's pretty much what he's been doing the entire game. So he's not the antagonist. He still could have been called, the game still could have been called Dragonage Dreadwolf. But I mean, it's whatever. I mean, whatever the fuck they wanted. I mean, yeah, whatever. And so you get experts from the factions, but essentially you become a therapist, and you solve their problems for most of the game. So while we're trying to kill Gillenane, or whatever the fuck, Giganing and Gigamon and whatever the fuck, we're solving their problems, because they really emphasize this a lot throughout the game, that we gotta solve their problems or something bad will happen. They don't say something bad will happen, but like, we gotta be prepared. So they literally hint at you that you should most likely do this. They do this annoyingly too. You most likely should do this, or and then they start doing like fucking sign language, like, oh, or, you know, type shit. They come to, like, every conversation you have, it's just, oh my gosh, man, just full on therapist, man. But yeah, so you help them out. You also gotta max out your faction strength. If they make it annoyingly apparent that you should do everything before the end game, or bad things will happen. Only time where friendship is not magic. Yes, because friendship is magic the entire fucking game. That's basically the game, you know, that's basically the dialogue and everything. Solstice stories and Crossroads were good. I didn't do all of them though. I think I like did 2 of them. I was gonna do the rest of them before I like went to the end game, like the point of no return, but it didn't let me through. I don't know why. Like, I had a champion core or whatever. It didn't let me through, so that was fucking stupid. But whatever. I don't really care. I mean, I was like, whatever. I mean, it would have been fun to do, but like, I'm just like, all right, I'm about to end the game. I don't really give a damn, you know. But no, his story in the Crossroads is pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. I liked going back in his memories and shit. That was pretty fun. And then just seeing like what was going on back then, that was pretty good. One of the problems, I mean, there's a bunch of problems, but like, you know, the complexities in the world building of the other 3 games are basically non-existent. They're basically non-existent. They don't exist, okay? Anything that happened, any world building and stuff we did in all the 3 games, building up, it don't matter. It don't matter. You know, it's just like, it's like in one of the examples, like the very blatant example, everyone choosing to play as an elf to see, you know, how, how Solas is going to react, how, you know, Saventer mages and shit going to react, because you're supposed to be a slave. You're supposed to be a slave, my nigga. Like, you know, you're supposed to be enslaved, supposed to be in chains. You're supposed to be in chains, but like, they don't act like that. Nobody mentions that really until this one quest you have to do. It's like somewhat in the middle of the game, somewhat towards the end of the game, you know. But yeah, it's just like, oh, and who's that there? Is that your slave or whatever? You know, yes, but that's pretty much it. Like, there's no other lore implications, which there should be in the game, which is, it's pretty weird, pretty wild. And it's also interesting, and somebody brought this up on Twitter, I think, like, yeah, like, you have all the elves from Inquisition, you know, like, just leaving, disappearing and shit to serve Solas and help him out and get up to, you know, like the ritual site, you know, where we first meet him in the beginning of the game, but we don't see any of that happening, and there's no mention of that at all. Like, it's just like it never happened, you know. It's literally like it's just like he did everything on his own. Well, he probably did, obviously, but like, there was obviously like elves defecting to his side, and we don't see any of that, which is weird. It's just like, what? So like, it's just like a bunch of shit from the other games just didn't carry over here. Like I said with the choices, I didn't really get into detail. Yeah, you only have 3 choices that can't come over from the keep. You have what's it called? Oh, did the Inquisition disband? Did the Inquisitor vow to stop Solas or not, or some shit? And then like, what was the other one? Oh, the Inquisitor's romance or something, you know. I mean, it's like whatever. That's pretty much it. You don't get to select who your divine is. You don't get to select whether, you know, it's not the choices from Inquisition carrying. What is it, the mages versus Templars shit? You don't get to select the Well of Sorrows or some shit. Yeah, like none of that. And then like, I don't think there's mention of Hawk or like, or the Warden from the other 2 games. I would think I'd like to hear something about Hawk. You know, like, is my boy okay? Like, are they good? You know, like, I mean, all of Thedas is, like, pretty much, like, Southern Thedas is fuck. Like, they are, like, Denerim is gone. Redcliffe is gone. Skyhold got attacked. They got it back, but they got attacked. Like, everybody, Orlais is, like, almost gone, too. Like, everybody, you know. So I'm just like, is Hawk good? What about the Warden? Is the Warden still alive? You know, he dies after like 30 plus years or some shit, you know, after the joining. So is he still alive, or is he fighting? Like, what's going on? What's going on? So don't hear anything about that. It's just like a bunch of like important choices and shit that just doesn't like get carried over, you know. Just more things. And of course you're like, oh, if that happened in Ferelden and Orlais, we're not there anymore. But yeah, but these are like pretty important things, you know, because they're like the politics of the world and shit. Yeah, so anyways, so the final battle, the point of no return, starts in Act 2, but it's just like a whole bunch of quests, and it all ends in Act 3. So basically, that point of no return, I would just say that's Act 3 right there, you know. It just starts a whole, like, I think it took me like 4 hours 20 minutes to do all that shit. It was like 8 quests total. In general, but it was literally just the fight between Edgar and like Gil. So it was pretty much just going up to their hideouts or a ritual site, whatever, and just fucking killing them, right? That's basically the point of no return. So basically, the start of it was like a long journey to kill Gil. I mean, I skipped past some fights, you know, because they're Here's some meat shields in this game. It's pretty annoying, so I skip past some of the, you know, the deep stalker motherfuckers from like Origins and shit. You see them in Orzammar and the Deep Roads. Yeah, I don't give a damn about them. I skip past them. Boo, and then you try and like head off to kill Ed after killing Gil. Then you're saying your final goodbyes until like the final fight. Like, there's like a rest moment in between killing Gillinane, right? I mean, it's still the point of no return. Like, you can't do anything else. Like, you can't teleport anywhere. Like, you're only stuck at that lighthouse. Like, you go back to the lighthouse one more time, and then, like, you go kill Edgar. But yeah, it was like 4 hours. Now, the decisions at that time, very critical. Unlike throughout the other parts of the game, you know? Very critical, because, somebody gonna die. Somebody gonna die, at least, you know? I don't think anybody leaves that place unscathed, man. Or not one person, right? Or whatever. But yeah, so you head up to Edgar. Solas takes forever to kill this motherfucking archdemon dragon, whatever the fuck it is. Morrigan took like 2 seconds to kill that nigga in Inquisition. They were different, you know, but it was the same concept, you know. Corypheus put his heart in the dragon or something to make himself immortal. It's the same thing what the other 2 gods did. You know, they had their dragons that their hearts in them. And it's Solas, goddamn, he took his motherfucking time. But anyways, holy shit. And again, the Corypheus fight was like a pretty shit. You know, it was pretty fucking quick. But the Edgar fight was pretty much a Walmart Millennia. I mean, it was like the same 3 moves over and over again. You know, it was. And when I mean Walmart Millennia, it was literally like her movements and shit. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? You know, it was like, it had to be some inspiration. You know, it's been 2 years since Elden Ring came out. It had to be some sort of inspiration, because he ended that little movement sesh like somewhat the same too. So like, yeah, so that was annoying. Yeah, same 3 moves. But I guess it wasn't bad. Again, it's like a story game, guys, right? Like, it's an RPG type game, so you gotta give them some slack. But I mean, yeah, it was pretty fucking easy. Gillinane fight was pretty much just destroying the blight boils, and then Lucana's doing like a fucking cinematic kill. You know, like, all right, we can do this, guys, and fucking, you know, yeah, friendship is magic, you know, type shit. Anyways, Solas says at the end though, which kind of threw me off, kind of hurt my feelings a little bit too. I was like, what the fuck? And then I kind of understood, like, in that moment, I'm just like, he's about to be pretty much sealed forever. Pretty much, I mean, not forever, but like almost forever, right? You know? So I kind of get what he said, because he said, like, I'm a god, and you're just a mortal, and I'm immortal, and you're a piece of shit. Yeah, he died, but yeah, and basically, yeah, it threw me off, but it just, I think it just shows him very upset, and, like, just him getting bested by, like, a fucking nobody, right? You know? Yes, it was alright, it was a good ending, yeah, nice, real cool, you know, thing, but I will say, I expected some titans to show up, you know, like, you know, people were saying it's a really, really good ending. Like, Maddie says it's like amazing, like, oh my gosh, like one of the best endings ever. Like, yeah, I guess, yeah. But for me, it's just like, I don't know, I expected like some titans to show up and shit. You know how Harding was getting her powers and shit, yeah, so I expected that. The ending really depends on like which factions like you helped out and like how strong they are, right? I surprisingly managed to get like the good ending, right? So there's a best ending with the Inquisitor, you know, they both go into the Fade, whatever, sure, why not, whatever. And then there's a good ending where, you know, you only lose like, I'm just guessing right here, and you know, spoilers, you lose like one person, one companion, whatever, and then Solas goes into the Fade, and then you get the normal ending, you know, Solas kinda don't like you. Yeah, he don't like you. You know, that's the normal ending. The good ending is like he likes you, but he gets sent to the Fade anyways. He gets sent to the Fade in each time. There's no point where there's like, oh, like, because I actually do want to see him bring down the Fade. Like, I want to see how that's like, because people are like, oh, humans were originally like spirits or some shit, you know, and when the Fade came up, then the humans were, you know, some shit, some weird shit like that. But some people were like, oh no, they existed before, like there's some comics, and I don't fucking know, but I would have liked to see the Fade, you know. It also felt like Baldur's Gate 3, you know, with the ending, you know, you gotta climb, like you gotta get to this tower, you gotta climb all the way up, and there's tentacles there's tentacles, guys. There's a shit ton of tentacles just everywhere. It felt really, really similar. Really, really similar vibes, you know. But again, Bioware made Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, you know, so, I mean, yeah. Okay, take that with whatever you think. Whatever you think. But there is a secret ending, and I didn't get this. It was probably maybe if you did all the crossroad quests and shit. I didn't do all of them. I'll do that on my second playthrough if I do one. But no, I actually did start my second playthrough. I just made the character and that's it, but I didn't like actually start it. It's like these guys, and then they show like them manipulating every like evil person in like all the dragonage games, you know, like Meredith and Logain and like Corypheus. They're just like behind the scenes, like they're the masterminds of it all, and it's just like, what? So you're telling like, I don't know. I mean, so I think they did that just, you know, to keep the game, you know, going, you know, the series going, but y'all could have done this in a different way, right? So anyways, that was the story and shit. In terms of the secret ending, I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, y'all, it can't be, not every game has to be some world-ending shit. Like, it can be like, oh, somebody's taking over the city, or like, yeah, they focus on the Canary fucking taking everything over and shit, you know, right? Like, that's, I want some more insights on that and shit. You know, the world beyond Thedas, because where the fuck did the Quinari come from, right? So, yeah. So we go to companions. God, this is gonna be a long-ass video. I feel no connection to them. Only Harding because she was from Inquisition, but really, like, I didn't like anybody. I did not like anybody. I mean, like, of course I have, like, I like some of them, right? Like, I can fuck with them, right? Like, they cool, whatever, but I don't feel any, like, connections to them, right? Like, I really don't care. That's why, you know, towards the end of the game, you know, everyone's saying it's amazing. Like, oh my gosh, you know, this person, and you know, and, like, all this happening to them, and, like, I'm just like, yeah, it's kind of sad, but like, man, you know, because I don't really have any deep connection to them, you know, except for Asan, or like, you know, Manfred dies or something. Yeah, nah, we ain't doing that. But yeah, it's just like no, like, hate towards them. Like, my favorite companions though were like Emmerich, Davrin, Harding, I guess. But I mean, that's pretty much it, you know. I didn't really like. In terms of, like, even for them, like, I don't really feel like a big connection to them at all. I mean, they're all cool, but, like, I don't really give a damn, you know, yeah. So we talk about Harding, like, yeah, she's from Inquisition, she the girl, you know. But in this game, I mean, I guess they're doing it so she has more interactions and shit. It's really just to blame the writer's situation, but they made her ask too many questions, like, there's a lot of scenes where she's just like asking people like, why you do this, why you do that, and like, just, I don't know, it's just the voice line. It just threw me off. I didn't like it. Let me go to Tosh. Okay, Tosh annoyed me when I first met her, but I kind of grew to like her because I'm just like, okay, she's kind of like me, like in some situations, like, yeah, like in the way how she acts, but like, not. It's like she's very bold with her words. That's why I'm saying, like, okay, yeah, I feel that. Yeah, that's kind of like me. But then she's also really childish, and that's kind of annoying. That's like really, really annoying. Like, you know, she superly annoyed me, like, right when I like first met her. You can watch that video. I pretty much have I'm posting all my streams on YouTube and shit, like all my VODs. But yeah, I just didn't like that. You just be fucking with the vibes, bro. Like, God, oh my gosh. Here we go.
I've heard such stories about the Lords of Fortune.
Don't touch me if I die.
I beg your pardon?
Non-binary shit aside, I don't give a shit about them. I don't give a damn. Fuck that shit. Guys, we had this shit in Inquisition. We had fucking Dorian, like, you know, we had Dorian and his little backstory, like, him being gay and, like, his dad, and we had to meet his dad and shit, and, like, yeah, I mean, I don't give a damn, okay? Sure, whatever, why not? But, like, it's really just her being, like, like so kiddie. It was kind of annoying. Like I'm kind of over it. Like I'd actually prefer to have Sarah in my party, not gonna lie. But I mean, I'm over it. Like she's okay now, but she's just not like, she's not my favorite like Emmerich and Davrin and Harding. And even with those three, again, I feel no super deep connection to them. Okay, but anyways, now we got Davrin. And here's the thing. I thought Davrin was gonna be like Will from Baldur's Gate 3. Will from Baldur's Gate 3 is kind of boring. Yeah, it's kind of boring. He's kind of like, he's really honor coded, right? And so I was thinking, like, are they gonna do this in like every video game? They make the black guy, you know, like very honor coded, like for justice, for victory, I have to do this for my honor, and, like for my family, and like all this, and for the people, like, you know, yeah, like just super honor, valiant, you know, glowing guy, you know, like oh, like type shit, you know. But no, he wasn't like that. He wasn't superly like that. It's like he's his character was good. I would say he was like one of the better ones, surprisingly, you know. The thing is, some people were kind of like he's being harsh to Hassan or something. No, because Hassan, not Hassan, holy shit, Hassan Piker, Hassan got kind of thrusted on him, like, you know, when the Griffins got kidnapped and shit, you know, all that shit going down at Weishaupt and the Anderfells and shit. Yeah, I mean, like, of course he's gonna have a hard time trying to figure out what to do with Hassan. Like he loves Hassan, right? But he's conflicted. His main like thing is like, should Hassan be a fighter or should he be like with nature or some shit, right? So I don't know, he was just like in that little conflict that I thought that was pretty interesting. It was pretty cute, whatever. Lucanus is the cliche emo Sasuke dude, you know. We always gotta have that little person in the party, okay? I mean, yeah. He's also possessed by a demon, and he's not really bad. In all honesty, I think they did it somewhat good in this sense, you know, because you always got that little stereotype in video game groups and parties and shit. But no, like he had he has like a little demon, but the demon isn't like evil. He's not really evil. They actually get along in the end. Well, it kind of depends, maybe, like how you, I don't know, your decisions. But yeah, no, they were fine. They were fine. Like, yeah, surprisingly, because you'd expect them to be like evil as shit compared to like the other possessions in this fucking game, right? But I don't know. Spite was cool. Surprisingly, he was funny as shit though. I don't know who the fuck was voicing him, but yeah. Next we have oh, he can also cook. Oh my gosh, guys, he can cook, bro. Next we have Nev. Cool detective, hottie. That's pretty much it. Cool detective, hottie. That's seems very nonchalant, you know, in terms of her voice acting. I'm guessing I'm not gonna blame the voice actor. I guess it's just like the tone they're going for the character, or that the directors wanted. Kind of threw me off a little bit at first when I first heard her voice, but I mean, I got used to it. It's like whatever. But I mean, in some moments, you gotta blame the writers and like some of the, or not the writers. Oh yeah, maybe the writers, but like the directors and like some of the moments. But yeah, no. I mean, people don't really like her because they're like, oh no, she's not hot enough. No, she's ugly. You know. But I think she's fine. You know. And that's the thing with like all the companions. People have a problem because they're like not hot enough or whatever. Like, oh my gosh, there's no girls I can fuck, you know, that type shit, right? You know, they just want more. They just want Morrigan. But Lara is the, you know, the quirky oop girl type shit. A little Disney, but not too much. Surprisingly, I'm actually somewhat tolerant of Balara. You know, and we all thought she was gonna be the, you know, yeah, the annoying girl, but like, she's not really annoying. I mean, the only superly annoying person in the party is Tosh, right? And that's very surprising. So yeah. Anyways, here we got Emmerich, you know, the uppity necromancer. He pretty cool. I like his personality. You know, that's why he's one of my favorites. He's scared to death, you know, he's a necromancer. Like, ooh, everybody has their own little twists and shit, you know, ooh, you know, and Balara killed her brother, and ooh, yeah. Okay, that's kind of fucked up. But, no. she did. She did. Manfred, which is basically Matt Mercer, making hissing sounds for, you know, the next 50, 60 hours or so, however long you play the game. He's just hissing. He does actually, you know, that's why I like Emrich's little storyline and companion quest too. Like, he eventually, Manfred eventually starts to talk, which is pretty cool. So yeah. All right. Varric is in the story, but he's more of like an advisor. And we already pretty much spoiled the ending. I might as well just say it right now. Varric is pretty much dead. Yeah, he dead. He dead in the game, but we don't know it because Solas fucking puts us in a trance. That's also another reason, another thing about the end that I kind of didn't like, but I kind of understand, because Solas is doing pretty much anything to get the veil. Like, you know, he's sacrificing friendships and shit, and then he controlling Rook, thinking Varric is alive or something to get what he needs or get, you know, to his end goal. I understand that, but I mean, it just kind of threw me off. I was like, what? Really? You mind controlling me, nigga? What the fuck? Freaky, freaky. I know Varric actually died when he got stabbed. It was kind of funny because I was just thinking, like, how is this nigga not dead? This is what I thought when I saw him in the lighthouse. I was thinking, okay, he died right there. But then you think he's alive. He was like, what? But he's actually dead and you don't know. So you were right at first, but yeah. I was like, how do you get stabbed by that crystal fucking dagger, that super magical dagger, and you're still alive? And it was in the chest too. It was like, what? I was thinking, okay, maybe some magics, you know, maybe Solas helped them out or something. I don't fucking know. Maybe Solas, you know, it was just like a little, it was a scratch or something. It wasn't a scratch. That was no fucking scratch. Anyways, yeah, so that happened. Morrigan is back. No big qualms. People don't like her getting nerfed, and, you know, you can guess where she got nerfed at. Anyways, yeah. And also her shirt is kind of weird to be, I mean, like, people point it out. But, I mean, that's just, like, that's whatever. It's really, like, they don't like her facial structure in this game. I point it mainly towards the art style. I don't really have any big issue with it. I'm just like, okay, Morrigan, yay. Like, you know, yeah, I don't really have a big issue with it, but some people do. But I don't really care. You got Dorian. They nerfed him. Well, they nerfed his hair. Of course, he got older. Okay, he's gonna get nerfed, you know, right? But no, he looked fine. Okay, but like, imagine Dorian with like gray hair, like long gray hair. Like, oh my gosh, that would be so fucking fire. Anyways, that could have happened. That could have been the thing. I mean, we got mods, so, you know, yeah. And then we got the Inquisitor. Inquisitor is voiced by the same Inquisitor from the third game, pretty much, from Inquisition. So that's really good. It's good to hear that, especially with it's a really good voice to hear. Rook is a predetermined character, a super predetermined character. Okay, I mean, like, there's answers and decisions that you would think would be a decision, but you're not allowed to make the decision, right? There's decisions that are being made in front of you, but you can't make them. They're just pre-made. Like, you know, the character should be like, oh, do you want to do yes? Do you want to do A or B? And then they go with B, but that's just, you can't say anything, because that's just the flow of this. That's just how the dialogue is going. They don't give you the option to say anything, so that's stupid. But yeah, even with the Inquisitor in the last 3 MCs, you got to choose their personalities and like how they approach decisions in the final conclusion of their stories, even if they're forced into saving the day, which is actually pretty wild, because you can't, like, yeah, your personality, everything is like predetermined, you know. You can't be mean at all too. You can't be mean. All the options, most of the options, I would say 80 or 90% of the time, I'm not even being dramatic, I'm being real right here, are like happy-go-lucky Disney, like, we can do this, you know, we got this, guys, like, you're gonna be okay type shit. Like, everything is so friendly. Even the mean options that are supposed to be mean, they're not mean at all. They're all friendly. That's what I'm saying. They're all friendly. Even the sarcastic options are not sarcastic anymore, you know. They debate you with that little snide looking mask in the middle. No, it's not sarcastic at all. It's just being friendly. So it's fucking stupid, and it's annoying. God damn it. Not much game-changing decisions in general, and with the ones given, they don't really impact the story at all. You know, the only decision I can really remember is the one with the mayor, and everyone brings that up because that's pretty much the only decision that you remember. and that you do. And it's not superly game changer. I mean, like, if you leave him, then, like, you know, he turns into a monster or something. I didn't fight him, I think. I don't remember fighting him. But yeah, like some sort of darkspawn creature he turns into. If you go back there, you can fight him. Or you bring him with you. There's a chance you can take him to the Grey Wardens if you're a Grey Warden, or like, you know, some other choices. But I mean, like, not really superly big, you know, right? The other game-changing choices are mainly like with the companions, and I mean, I don't even think that changes the end game, you know? It just, I don't even think it changes their personalities too much. It's just meh, you know? In terms of animations, my Rook kept doing this. Every cutscene, almost every, because I would say 50% or more cutscenes, either the NPCs or my Rook was just doing this the entire time. Oh my gosh, like I even started doing it right when my Rook started like fucking doing that shit too much. I was just like, alright bro, like I was just doing it for funsies. But it's so often, it's just like, can you do anything else? You can cross your arms, do something. Fuck, goddamn, holy shit. Anyways, yeah, just acting like they're Superman or some shit, my nigga, goddamn. Some faces also don't match the tone of the scenes. I remember Balara, like, this is in the beginning of the game, which is kind of wild that it was like that, but she was like smiling when she should be sad. She was just smiling. Like, what are you doing? So that happened like several times, you know, in the game. Voice acting also feels like it doesn't sync with the lips a lot. You know, I noticed it. I tried not to notice it after I noticed it for the first time. Just like, oh, I don't want to see that, you know? So I'm trying to like just look at the character's eyes and shit. I don't know. It just threw me off. And also in some scenes, voice actors didn't act the scenes right. Okay, it's not like Inquisition where the Inquisitor's like, what are we doing here? What's going on here? You know, that you see. Have you seen that meme? Yeah, it's everywhere. But in some aspects it is, but like it's not too bad. Okay, I'm just like, all right, whatever, you know, because I hear Nev's depressing ass all the time. I'm just like, I'm kind of used to it. I mean, I get that's her character, whatever, you know, that's how she talks. It just throws me off each time. It reminds me of that moth girl from Hazbin Hotel. Like, her voice throws me off too, even though like I share like a similar voice with Nev and like the moth girl. So I guess that's why it throws me off, because it's just my talking voice, right? It just feels like my talking voice, like my own talking voice. Yeah, but at that point, it just has to do with the directors and shit, you know, just directing them. So it's not really the voice actor's fault if there's any issues. The romances, 12-episode anime rom-com. That's the best way to describe it, yeah. Nothing really happens for the first 11 episodes, but the final episode, oh, the 12th episode, oh, you finally kiss, or whatever. It's just all, I did the Lucanus romance, everyone's complaining about it, yada yada yada. Yeah, everyone is complaining about it, you know, all the little Inquisition fangirlies that play this game as a fucking dating simulator. Yeah, but I don't blame them though, because you know, it's really, really weak in this game. They really hyped it up too. It's like, oh my gosh, guys, you get all these romance options. Who are you gonna romance, you know? And they like, comment below, you know, in the Twitter comment sections and shit. But it's just like, it's not like all that. The total romance time I heard was like 15 minutes. Compared to Inquisition, where each companion was like an hour of like, you know, dialogue and romance shit, you know, right? You just get 15 minutes in. I think Lucanus, you only had like one cutscene, or maybe two. 1.5. Let's do 1.5. But everything else is just like, you're just flirting with him in conversations that don't pertain to like the romance and shit. It's just like, you know, yeah. So all of that shit is basically in the background of the game, at least from my Lucanus romance. I'll see, I mean, if I do another playthrough or whatever, see what happens if I do another romance, but yeah. Yeah, it's worse than all the 3 games, I would say. And you don't even really get shit in Origins with, like, you know, let's just say Alistair, because I romance Alistair. But there's a lot of lines and dialogue with, like, going back and forth between him. You don't need, like, I think there's only, like, 1 or 2 scenes. There's a kissing scene and then, like, the little makeout scene you can do at whenever time. You can pretty much do it whenever. And that's gonna be another thing I'm gonna talk about, like with the NPCs and shit, how you can't like, you know, yeah, we'll talk about it later. But yeah, I mean, you can fuck Alistair whenever, you can kiss him whenever, you know, flirt with him whenever. But with everybody else in this game, you can't. That you can't. Very, very different. Yeah, like you don't need the 1 hour cinematic cutscenes, or you don't need the 2,000 hour shit from Baldur's Gate 3. You don't need all that shit. You just, you know, need the back and forth, you know, just make it feel alive and it feels dead. So, yeah, it's pretty boring. The art style, we already talked about the art style in the past 50 Dragon Age videos I made. I mean, Fortnite Battle Pass, I just shit on my ass. Yeah, that's pretty much all you need to say about it. I mean, I've grown used to it, especially when I'm like looking at the environments and shit, like, you know, all the worlds. Like, it looks pretty cool, but like the character art styles, but I'm used to it right now. Like, of course you can do mods and shit, so it's whatever. In terms of like, you know, somebody pointed out that some of them look like bobbleheads because like the heads are like pretty, you know, big. I noticed it with Lucanus. I'm just like, yeah, that is kind of a big head. It's pretty big. But yeah, the mods will save you. It's not really like a big, like, oh my gosh, game changer type shit. Now we got quests and exploration. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be a long ass video, guys. Holy shit. All the areas pertain to the main quest. Thank God. Yeah, so you go to pretty linear areas, but they have a lot of space for exploration. Thankfully. Oh my gosh, yeah, so pretty much like back in Origins type shit vibes, but you got a little bit more to explore. It's not like Inquisition, the hinterlands type shit, right? It's not like that at all. It's more linear, so yeah, that's very, very welcome. Many of the side quests are important to story. Dare I say, highly recommended for people to do, you know, like the Crossroads quest and the Solas quest and shit. And they have the Deep Road quest with Harding and stuff, because it gives you lore about the Titans and dwarves and shit. I am also upset about that, because I said in the end, I thought the ending was gonna have like Titans fighting and shit, because Maddie was like, it's amazing. I was like, oh shit, we're gonna have Titans and shit fighting the elves and, you know, yeah, getting revenge and shit, right? That didn't happen. At least from my playthrough. And from all the shit I've seen, that don't happen. But anyways, no, I mean, you get more of lore in terms of that, so that's really welcome. It's really interesting. So I would say I would count that as main story shit, you know, very, very important stuff to know. And then you also have the side quests, which are pretty much the companion quests, but I mean, they're pretty much the main quests because they heavily imply for you to do those quests. Or else everybody dies and friendship does not become magic. You know, that's pretty much what they're trying to do. They just pretty much, you're just solving their problems the entire time. You know, it gets pretty fucking annoying. But I mean, you're just solving their problems. You're just a therapist to them. You're giving them advice, quote unquote advice. You know, because it's just you're just checking the same 3 options in the dialogue wheel, which they're all pretty much the same thing. Like, you're predetermined. You're a predetermined rook, right? So you're just gonna be happy-go-lucky, you know, giving advice and everybody like, we can do this, we got this type shit. That's just how you're gonna be. That's how it is, unfortunately. Let's say there's still fetch quests like killing mercenaries and like collecting notes, but like most tie in with the overarching story, so it's not much of a drag. The puzzles are stupidly easy, okay? It picks up towards the end, but like in the beginning and like even during the middle, it's kind of meh.
No way across. Think we can make the jump?
Oh, no, we can make a bridge. There should be a power crystal somewhere nearby.
I wonder where? You know, even during the end, you know, I was doing Balara's quests and shit, like end of her companion quest. It was kind of, they're pretty easy. Right? It's pretty easy, you know. At least it's not superly complicated as Breath of the Wild or annoying like Hogwarts Legacy, right? I mean, for me, I was annoyed by those puzzles, okay, right? I mean, they're fun to do, right? But like some of them were just fucking annoying. I'm just like, okay, like, oh my gosh, like I can't take it anymore. But it was also a bit too much like Wizard 101 puzzles, right? I mean, I swear one of them has played at least Wizard 101 once, because that's literally the shit in Wizard 101 puzzles. They had like the little shield, like a little piece of the puzzle on the ground, you know? It was just like, oh my gosh, it's like so Wizard 101 coded. But anyways, that was whatever. One of the most annoying things about the quests, so one of the specific quests, you have to save either Treviso or Minrathous. You do one or the other, and one of your companions hate you forever. They hate you forever, okay? They quote-unquote get over it, like, as the time goes on, but you can't, like, make them a hero of the Veilguard, and that's pretty much, like, have them solidify as, like, your bestie, right? Like, it's pretty much, like, completing your companion quests in the other games. Like, in Inquisition, you get, like, a special card, like when you complete Varric's quest or like any other companion's quest. That's pretty much what it is in Veilguard, you know, like you're solidified as like besties, you know, like pinky finger, pinky swear type shit. But with the Treviso Minrathous shit, you know, I chose to save Treviso because my character was a crow. And I was also romancing Lucanus, so I just had to. Like, it made complete sense for me to save Treviso. But when I went to Treviso and I came back, Nev was so fucking pissed. Like, she hated my ass. She hated my ass. Like what am I supposed to do? Nigga, there's 2 dragons. Who do you think I'm gonna go to first? I'm going to my hometown, nigga. What the fuck do you mean? I don't know these Minrathous motherfuckers. Like, what the fuck? God damn, you know, right? It's like rooting for your team at a home game for a football game. Like, what? Why would I root for the other team? You know? I mean, it was just so fucking stupid how they made her like it's like she never forgave me, right? And then they also get this hardened effect, and it actually increases their offensive power, which is actually pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing. But like, either way, like, you can't really finish out her like as a character, right? You just can't, like, you can complete the companion quest, but it won't show it. It won't show Hero of the Veilguard, which is like completed pretty much. So that was annoying. I did somewhat like Nev, but like that little thing, whoever made that decision to, you know, make them never forgive you, you know, at least not get the option to like win them back as like, yeah, I mean, they do like you as a companion, like, oh right, we're locked in type shit, but it's just never like, you know, you can't get the Hero of the Veilguard shit, right? Okay, whatever. So whoever did that, fuck you. I mean, that quest pissed me off. I just won't get over it. I don't know why she's so fucking mad. It's so fucking stupid. We go to the environment. I liked Arlefin, I liked the Anderfels, and I like Navarra. Okay. And keep in mind, these are like open places, right? You know, like, you know, Arlefin Forest, you know, and Navarra is pretty, I mean, it's kind of like a city or whatever, but I mean, it's kind of like a open type place, you know, like outside at some points, or like a lot of points and shit, you know. It's not like an actual city, or, you know, like a big town. Now, Treviso and Minrathous. Oh, I did like Ravane. I didn't really go there too much. I didn't really do much in there, but yeah. But Treviso and Minrathous. Oh, Lord. Okay. Listen. Okay. It felt dead, right? It felt dead, and I was actually a little disappointed. Okay. I felt very, very disappointed in both of those areas. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, you know. There's not much to do in them. So it's more of like, you know, at a certain point in the game, it was pretty early on, you know, because obviously I'm like a crow, you know, so I'm going to be more in line with Treviso. But I also like the environment of Treviso. Like, it looked nicer than Minrathous, you know. Minrathous was just like a regular, you know, port city in a fucking video game. Treviso looked very unique, very cool. It was nighttime and shit, you ziplining and shit, so yeah, that was pretty cool. So I spent more time there than Minrathous because they're pretty much it's pretty much the same thing, you know. There's no unique, I mean, they both look different obviously, but I mean, like, in terms of you know, just like shit to do there, right? The only things you can do in terms of interactions with the NPCs and shit, oh, there is no interactions, by the way. There are no interactions, really. You can't really talk to a random PC, like strike up a conversation. It really doesn't happen unless you're going through like a main quest and you're like following a character down, and, you know, they have a little bubble pop up next to it. Yeah, but I mean, You can't like press the A button. It just, you know, it just happens automatically most of the time, or all the time. But you can't strike up conversations with random NPCs, you know. I mean, you also can't hit them and stuff, but I mean, that's some people like that in video games. It's fine, whatever. Sure, I don't give a damn. But like, yeah, just something to note. You can't hit them or anything. If you use magic and shit, you know, it's like they don't exist. It's like you shoot the magic at them, they're not getting hit or anything. They're just still locked in their NPC animation for all eternity. So yeah, I mean, but pretty much the only things you can do in the city is pet cats and like give people some money. And I didn't even mean to give people money. I mean, like, I was trying to fucking loot shit, right? That's pretty much what I've been doing. That's the only thing I care about. But I just kept giving people money. And there's one part in Treviso, there's like a bunch of like people like asking for coins. It's like, you see the little give option with the A button. Oh my gosh, it's everywhere. But like, that's it. Like, there's no other, you know, there's no other, you can't interact with the NPCs unless there's like a guy giving you a quest. But I mean, like, a guy giving you a quest is just a guy giving you a quest. It doesn't feel like any of the other games, you know. It doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel lively, right? It just don't, it don't feel alive. It feels dead as fuck. You do have a bar, you know, a little classic video game bar, you know. In Origins, there's a couple bars and stuff you can go to, and places where you can hook up, you know, with some hookers or some strippers, whatever, have fun. You know, you can order drinks actually, and you can actually get the drunken effect, I think, in Origins, I believe, or some shit like that. But yeah, you can order drinks and shit, so you can also take some little some quests in the bars and stuff, maybe from like some mercenaries and shit. Just do that, you know, a couple quests, get a little EXP and shit. That was pretty cool. Even though they're fetch quests, I would say that's the only fetch quests that make sense and that are kind of like, you know, interactive, immersive into the game. You don't get that at all in Minrathous or like Treviso, or, you know. Yeah, there's a couple Swan, and you meet the Inquisitor in there a couple times. With that's, you don't do anything there. You can't order drinks, you know. You do start some quests in there, but you just go in there and you click the start the quest button, and then they just played a little cinematic, and that's it. Like, that's pretty much it. That's all it is. It's just like, it's just the background, pretty much, what it feels to me. But yeah, I mean, unless you are able to order, I don't think you are able to order drinks or anything. Either way, you can't hook up with anybody in there. I mean, you can't do any of like the shit from the old game. So it just felt dead. Most merchants in the cities also sell valuables and not armor and weapons. That's the mainly like the selling the weapons and shit. That's mainly like the factions merchant, you know, in charge of that shit. In terms of valuables and stuff, we'll get to that in a second, but you pretty much just sell them. You just sell them for money, essentially. We'll get to more detail. Let's go to the lighthouse, okay? It's smaller compared to Skyhold, but that's okay. I mean, it's not really a big deal. I actually probably prefer that in terms of getting around. It's a cool hub, you know. Yeah, it's a lot of purple everywhere. I mean, there's purple everywhere, goddamn. But I mean, yeah, I mean, sure, why not? I mean, I don't really have any qualms with it, except for like, you know, having like a little teleport thing in the middle of the lighthouse. That would be pretty fire, because every time you go into the lighthouse, you come back from a mission, you just start pretty much in the hallway or whatever, and you gotta make your way all the way back up, you know, and just go to the middle. And again, it's not as big as Skyhold, right? But it would be nice if there's like a little telly in the middle, like where the companions are at, because, you know, I just go straight to the companion quest and shit. Yeah, so yeah, it would be nice if I can like instantly teleport to their houses, or, you know, their little dorms or whatever, dorm rooms, you know, like college dorm rooms. But yeah, their dorm rooms are also pretty cool, or whatever the fuck they are. There's like a little puzzle in the lighthouse I didn't do, but I think it pertains to Solas. There's also, I think, like a secret room inside the lighthouse. I think I saw it, but I just never went in there. Yeah, I think it pertains to the puzzle, but I really don't give a damn. Anyways. But that's pretty cool. I have no qualms with the lighthouse, to be honest. Oh, in terms of decorating, I forgot to put this down. I'm like reading off of my notepad, because I was typing this shit at work. In terms of decorations, you can decorate your little room in the lighthouse. You can put like little furniture up or whatever. But I mean, that's it. Yeah, I mean, you can buy decorations too from like random merchants. I'm not sure if you can actually decorate the entire room, like freaking put wallpaper and shit up. I didn't see that. I just saw like random trinkets and shit you just place down. So that's that. Let's go to leveling. Leveling is it's at a good pace, okay? And it's more levels than Inquisition. It's pretty much double the levels of Inquisition. I think Inquisition you can only level up to like level 30 or 25. It's either 25 or 30. But in Veilguard you can level up to level 50, so that's pretty cool. And I think after that you just get like a bunch of ability points every quote-unquote level or whatever, so you can fill out the skill tree. And let's talk about the skill tree. The way it's made is kind of like Assassin's Creed, right? And that's kind of what the vibes I was getting from the game in some points, you know. It was a good thing, it was a bad thing, because, you know, the only Assassin's Creed game I played was Valhalla. And, yeah. No, I did play Odyssey for like a good 20 hours, but I kind of stopped, you know. I'm kind of somewhat halfway through the game, but I just stopped because there was a bunch of Black Myth Wukong came out and all that shit, so yeah. But no, it reminded me of Assassin's Creed. In terms of Treviso and Minrathis, I thought, you know, we'd be sneaking up on people in Minrathis. Oh, and in terms of the quests, you know, that's what I thought we were going to get. You know, because it was reminding me of Assassin's Creed. Like, yeah, you can go on the rooftops and shit and climb into buildings. And yeah, that was cool, you know, but like, I wanted some stalking quests, you know, let me stalk this person, let me spy on them, let me do some sneaking quests, like, let me, you know, yeah, because that's how Treviso is kind of set up, you know, but you don't really get that type of questing there, right? You don't. And if you did, it'd probably be like Dragon's Dogma, where you just like, you know, niggas see you, but the whole point of the quest is them not seeing you. But yeah, so it's probably gonna be some bullshit like that, so maybe it's a good thing they didn't do it. But yeah, I was expecting something like that from Treviso and like Minrathis. That would have been cool. And it was like assassinating people and shit, doing assassinations. That would have been amazing, especially in Treviso with the political like enemies and shit. So that would have been cool. No, you don't get that there. But in terms of the skill tree, it's very similar to Assassin's Creed skill tree. Bunch of shit everywhere. It's not too big though, but I would have liked to been able to zoom out completely on the skill tree. I was not able to do that. I was not able to do that, weirdly enough. Like, you can zoom out a little bit, but like you can't like see the entire skill tree at the same time, you know. And I'm not saying like, oh, let me zoom out completely and then like click on like a skill tree. No, just let me see the entire skill tree and let me just zoom in on a certain part so I can get there quickly, because now I'm just moving my cursor and it's taking like 5 seconds to get to this one point in the skill tree where it should take like 1 or 2, you know, just to fucking zoom out and then zoom in, you know, and then click on that fucking ability and we done. So yeah, that happened. But we'll get more into abilities in a second. I can't see the enemies' levels, and I would prefer if I did, because it kind of reminds me of like level scaling. I don't like level scaling in video games. That's partially why I got tired of Valhalla and also Odyssey. That's one of the main reasons why I haven't returned really to Odyssey after playing a good amount of Black Myth Wukong for a second. But yeah, it's just like I don't like the level scaling. It reminded me of level scaling. So I was thinking, is dragonage Veilguard level scaling? And it's not, from what I've seen, because there was a level 30 ogre or something, like in the Anderfels, or like, you know, where I was helping out Davrin and shit with the Darkspawn, the Grey Wardens. Level 30 and I was like level 21, so definitely not level scaling in that sense. I had to come back and like kill him. So I like coming back and like, you know, yeah, just like being the level I'm supposed to be. I don't like the level scaling shit. Like, I'd prefer, you know, yeah, like give me a challenge, or like, you know, alright, let me just come back here. I don't like level scaling at all. I fucking hate that shit in video games. Anyways, I mean, sometimes I just gotta deal with it, but like, you know, I highly prefer, you know, not having that in a video game. That's one of the things that kind of make or break me in video games, believe it or not. It's that, 100% it's that, you know, that's in my top 5 things. But yeah, so I mean, maybe there's a mod that, you know, we can get the actual enemy levels up, and so I can, you know, play it in that sense. But yeah, I prefer to know my enemy levels, you know, because I think at the ending fight, at the last battles and shit, there's like a bunch of minions and shit running at me. They were like level 10. So they point that out. That's how I know it's not level scaling, because they show the minions being like level 10. I don't know why they were level 10. They could have been like level 20 or some shit, and still could have been like 1 or 2 hits, but you know, whatever. Anyways, abilities. Mage abilities were cool, but they're not a lot like, it's not a lot like the other games though. Okay, I enjoyed the abilities, okay? I pretty much used most of them, but the necrotic abilities, because they were with that specialization. I forgot what it's called, but I didn't really use that shit until the end. So, but like the exact and like the exact final battle, I did not like try and use that shit. Here we go. Come on, we played how many hours of Elden Ring for this shit? Oh. Did I catch it in time? Oh my god, I catch. Oh, wait, I caught it. Quick respect to a neck. Honestly, wait a minute. Wait, we could. 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, even Inquisition had more, and that's actually saying something, because Inquisition did not have that much like abilities, you know, and like skill tree shit at all. Like, it was definitely a downgrade from like the other 2 games. So that was saying something. It could also be because of the side trigger abilities, you know, like the laser button and then the Y button, which does like the, you know, the laser button, you're like shooting it at the fucking mobs, and the Y button just like does an AoE attack. And then like you can go to melee instead of like using the staff. So you got those 3 things. So maybe that's why there wasn't you know, too much other abilities in the game. Because also with that, you have the extra combo abilities that come with the skill tree, and like, you know, also the specializations that you can pick up. You know, instead of doing a light attack the entire time, you can do light attack and then combo it with like a heavy attack, and boom, you get like something else. Or, you know, yeah, it's just like adding on, you know, just smaller abilities. But yeah, maybe that's why. But yeah, sure, why not? Still not too bad. Not really a big issue in terms of that. Like, okay, sure, why not? Healing exists. Yes, you can heal in this game, but healing is from other companions. It is not from your companion. I mean, not from you. You can't heal yourself. You have to have your healers heal you, right? Every companion can heal you except for warriors, from what I've seen. So rogues and mages can heal you, pretty much. So you have to have at least one of them in your party if you want, like, heals from them. Or you can have potions. I mean, you can heal yourself with potions, but I mean, we're talking about, like, actual healing ability. Yeah, so you can't become a healing mage or anything, you know, that's you can't do that. You can't heal yourself. So I found that interesting and also kind of annoying, because then they're also like forcing you to bring these motherfuckers to your party again. But I mean, it's like whatever, sure, why not? At least I can heal, you know, and not have a fucking bubble shield around me, you know, every 20 seconds, you know, freaking cooldown ability in Inquisition. They also have that little tiny Magi-Knight sword. Useful, so you don't have to bring certain companions with you most of the time, because of class restricted obstacles. So that's pretty cool. Like, you know, maybe I need like a wall moved, so like it'll show like Harding's little icon, you know, if you want the wall moved and to go into this little treasure room or some shit, you know, Harding will move it. Or like, oh, you need what's it called, Lucanus's like to make a bridge or something, you know, it'll have like Lucanus little icon show up. So yeah, that's pretty cool, whatever. Here's one of my qualms though with the abilities. I feel like too many abilities were given in the early game or the beginning of the game, and it also, it's like a lot to take in, you know, with the mechanics in the beginning, like the first couple hours. You know, I didn't start using like pretty much all my abilities until like 10 hours in, I think, maybe a bit more. It is a lot of shit you get at the same time, like right when you start the fucking game, right? I feel like they should have held back on them just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. You know, I feel like they should have started, because you get your 3 abilities and then like your ultimate, and then you have your 3 other things. You know, you can have the laser, you can have the melee, you can switch to melee, or you can switch to staff, either or. That's this other thing, so that's another thing. That didn't make any sense. But yeah, melee or staff, and then you have that little AoE Y button, which is pretty cool. I feel like they should have built that up. Either, you know, I don't know. I feel like with the 3 abilities, they should have held off on that and just let you do the laser, and then like the side trigger buttons, right? The laser, and then the regular Y button AoE attack that you automatically already have. And then like just the 3 that you already automatically have, and then the ability wheel, the abilities that you put on the wheel, you know, get that shit later in the game, right? Like just add it on up like slowly, okay? Because you get a lot of shit in the beginning. I do feel like it's a lot, right? Nothing I can't handle though. But yeah, so that's one thing. I feel like specializations at level 20 was okay. Might have been better at level 25, you know, maybe just a couple more levels or just waiting a little bit, because you do like level up at a good pace, you know. You do level up at a good pace. You get abilities pretty quickly too. That's also another thing. You don't get abilities just from leveling up. You get them from like Solas, Finharel statues and stuff, or from other things, you know. So it's, yeah, I feel like it could have been like level 25, or I wouldn't even have been mad if it was like level 30. You'd get your specializations, you know, right? But yeah, so I mean, and I say that because not only did it feel like a lot in the beginning, but it also got boring after a second for me. Like maybe after like 15 hours of me playing the game, I got somewhat bored of it. And here's the thing, I am at fault for using the staff mainly, because I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna just stay like as a staff mage. No, it's, you know, I should have been switching around, you know, between melee and staff. But I did hear going as a mage in the beginning is the most boring compared to the other 2 classes. They say rogue is good throughout, and they say warrior is really good in the beginning, and then it gets stale for warrior as time goes on. You know, it gets boring towards the end of the game. Yeah, mage, it gets boring in the beginning, and then it like gets better and better. That's kind of, I mean, I enjoyed it in the beginning, right? Okay, you're gonna enjoy it for the first hour or a couple hours or so, but like, I enjoyed it for a fairly good amount of time, like, you know, 15 hours, and then I felt a little boredom in terms of abilities and shit. I was like, But, you know, it could have been my fault because I should have been switching between melee and staff. But yeah, and I can also be like refunding the points and stuff. You can refund points. There's no like restrictions to it. It's not like Elden Ring where you gotta get a bear gall and like another fucking item, you know, to fucking respect pretty much everything. So that's cool. You can refund it whenever. You can switch specializations whenever too. It's not like Inquisition where you're like locked in. I do have a mod for that, so I can switch whenever, you know. So yeah. In Inquisition, because yeah, I ain't deal with the bullshit. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And in terms of combat for the mage, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It's unique. It's definitely, I do like how I can parry and shit. That was fun, you know. Yeah, but in terms of abilities and stuff, I think it was okay. I mean, I still would have liked to have been able to heal myself, but I mean, that's whatever. Oh, and in terms of like, speaking of Inquisition, I do wish, before I forget to say this, I do wish that we had war table. I heard that there was going to be like a war table type thing, but it's really not a war table. There is no war table. It would have been cool if there was like a war table or some shit. That would have been amazing, but you know, it just doesn't exist. You do have a little faction strength thing on the left side. You can see like the strength of all the factions and stuff, but I mean, other than that, there's no war table. I felt like it was being teased that there was going to be like a war table like thing, but it really isn't one, you know? Yeah, so it would have been a cool feature. I mean, in Inquisition, it was bad because it was like doing real time, you know? So you had to wait for stuff to get completed and shit, but like, if done well, it would have been amazing in this game. I'm not going to lie, it would have been really, really good. So here's to hoping they'll do that in the next game, if there is a next game. Oh wait, no, because the guys in the background are controlling everybody, and apparently, so yeah, there probably will be. I mean, if this game did well, so I mean, we'll see, but yeah. Anyways, in terms of combat, yes, I like how you can be melee as a mage, and you know, you're not getting clobbered the entire time. Well, actually, you still are. You still are. I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, you can be melee as a mage. You can hit with your sword and stuff. You have like a little orb, and like you can shoot with the orb too at the same time. It's pretty cool. I do like the arcane blast shit. That is pretty cool. You hit him with the ice spell like 2-3 times, and then you can do like an arcane, like you get them with an arcane mark, and then so after the 3 blasts, you just slice them and they're fucking dead. You know, right? It's like a critical hit. It's pretty cool. Especially with the specialization when the sword just like starts spinning and shit. That's pretty cool. And then, oh, you can do that little waterbender move too with the specialization. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so I was doing that, you know, towards the end of my gameplay. That was pretty fun. The flow of combat is smooth, but in the beginning it felt like really slow, probably because I'm used to like the quick, you know, Inquisition, you know, other games, you know, just being like things being fast, right? You know, it just felt slow, but that's the style of the game, you know. It had to be that way for it to play like that. You do have parrying. Parrying is fun, yes, and I do like shielding. I think I already said that. But yeah, parrying is fun. You can like deflect blasts and stuff, and you can also counter it too if you get that little passive option. Oh, let me talk about passives too. Honestly, I can tell when some passives are working, but that's because they're like action passives. But like that's what I'm saying with like, you know, me wanting to see the health bars of you can see the health bars of enemies. Like you can turn that on. I did turn it on for me. But like I also want to see the levels of enemies, so I know like, okay, how much damage do I gotta do to this level 10 person? What's the difference between doing this ultimate on this level 10 person and doing the ultimate on this level 25 person? You know, how much am I gonna need to, you know? Yeah, so just shit like that. That's why I like levels and like being able to see the levels and shit. Companions don't do damage. They don't do shit unless you assign an ability to them, right? Like unless you assign to Lucanus to do this move or Nev to do this move on them, they're not gonna do damage to any of the fucking enemies, right? It's so fucking stupid, you know. And they also don't die, so they're just like, they're just there for narrative purposes. Like they don't really have like, you know, a big reason to be there. The only damage they're doing literally is just you just gotta, I don't know if you assigned them, because I didn't really assign them to like enemies and shit in this game, you know. I do prefer to like, of course I prefer the style of the last 3 games where you have more control over your enemies, or not your enemies but your companions, and like have them set to do certain things, like Lucanus heal me at like 20% or some shit, right? You can't do that here, right? You know, you can't do that here. It doesn't have to be as complex as Origins. It's gonna be like Dragon Age 2 or like Dragon Age Inquisition. It doesn't have to be that complex with the commands and stuff, right? But yeah, so I mean, like in terms of like assigning companions, like you can only assign them to either hit an enemy or, you know, hit this enemy instead, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, they don't die. It's hard for you to die also. I played it on the balanced difficulty. I actually like forced myself to die this one time, partially because I wanted to like change my ultimate, but also because I wanted to see like, why am I not dying? Because I'd get that 0% like, or like 1 health every time. I'm just like, why am I not dying? Because I've been at 1% like maybe 30 times already, and I'm not dying. And I should have died to that attack. That was a killing attack. Why am I not dead? And I get hit a second time and I'm still at like 1% or some shit, like, you know, 0 health bar. I'm just like, why am I not dead? You know, and I saw Asmongold playing it, and it was the same thing was happening to him too. It was like, I'm not dying. I'm like, yeah, you are not dying. Like, what the fuck? You know, so it was kind of weird. Yeah, so that happened. That was stupid annoying, but you can die, yes. Takes a second though. I did die at the end. I think it was like with Gillinane, because she kept spawning the enemies and you have to destroy the blight boils and shit, and I had like 1 potion, and there was like no option for me to get any other potions like towards that point. Like I just had to fucking, I had to play that shit like a Dark Souls game, you're like rolling around and shit. But yeah, so I died twice there, but like other than that I only died like 3-4 times, and like really only 2 times because from the Gillinane shit. So really just like, yeah. Yeah, because the other 2 times I did it on purpose. So it's really hard for you to die in the game. Because I absolutely thought that I was in like God mode or some shit. I'm just like, is there like a non-dying thing on? Like, why is this? What the fuck's going on? So, in terms of enemies, they're easy. They're pretty fucking easy. This one, yeah, you know, like a lot of people turn the game difficulty down just to get through the fucking story and shit because they got bored or whatever. Yeah, I was tempted to do that on a Gillinane shit because I kept dying. I'm just like, okay, bro, like, there's no potions. It felt like Inquisition when I was at the Champions of the Just thing. There was, like, no pots around, no potions around. So I was just like, alright, I'll just turn difficulty down, just get through this bitch. Because I don't see any potions or shit. Like, it's, I'm not going to deal with this bullshit. I already beat the game 13 times, so, yeah. Anyways, I'm just not going to waste my time like that. Yeah, enemies like Ease, they're not like Redfall bad though, right? They're not like sometimes they like standing still, you know? They act like they're doing something, like they're emoting, but it's not too bad, right? It's not too blatant, okay? It's not too bad. In terms of variety though, in terms of like the enemies, there is no variety. It's not as bad as Dragon's Dogma though. It doesn't feel as bad as Dragon's Dogma. Because Dragon's Dogma, I mean, it was pretty much the same enemy over and over again. I would say it was 3 enemy types in Dragon's Dogma, and they're just, like, fucking reskinned as, like, an ogre. Or, like, a fucking Bigfoot motherfucker, like a hairy ogre, you know, type shit. But, yeah. Here, it's, like, it was more enemies, but it did get boring after a second. It was like, okay, it's definitely gonna be another fucking ogre or some shit. I got like 3 ogres at one point. I'm just like, okay, you know, what the fuck? Come on now. It's like the same moves over and over again. I mean, there's like a frenzied ogre, there's a regular ogre, just like they have different names. They for the most part do the same shit over and over again. But yeah, but it wasn't too bad in terms of variety and shit. It wasn't too bad, but it did get somewhat almost to that point where I'm just like, alright, bro, you know, yeah. I did like the new elven enemies, like little elven robots and shit. They were pretty cool. Yeah, so there's that. The Darkspawn looked goofy as always. Well, not as always, as always in the game, you know, but yeah, the ogres, speaking of the ogres, they look goofy as shit. Like some shit from a Meat Canyon video. Oh, I hope nothing goes through this very damaged fucking wall. Is this my boy Pride Demon? Oh, it's a Herlock, right? That gotta be a Herlock. He looks so goofy, though. Oh, he definitely looks goofy.
Nigga,
oh,
what?
No, y'all.
Nigga, what? Nigga, what?
What did they do to my boys? What did they do to my boys? Y'all could have added some details to the eyes at least, bro. Like, okay, goofy ass fucking American Dad jawline, sure, why not? But like, holy shit, bro. Wow. Look how they massacred my boy. They look goofy. They do not belong in this game. I'm sorry. They just do not belong in this game. You know, they just, They're like mobile game enemies, bro. It's actually insane. Anyways, and then the Pride Demons look like fucking enemies from Mass Effect or some shit. Or like the demons in general, just like they don't look like they from this game either. Fuck. They ain't nobody look like they from Dragon Age. It's not even a Dragon Age game at this point. You can pretty much say that, you know. Say that again. Ha ha ha. Anyways, yeah, so but I mean it's just something I noticed. I'm just like, okay, bro. Hashtag not my Pride Demon, you know. Let's go to armor and weapons. Okay, we almost done. It's probably gonna be like 2 hours, man. In terms of armors and weapons, they all ugly. They all ugly. Okay, not necessarily ugly, but like it's just a lot of the armor, especially in the beginning. And I'm a mage, by the way. I'm a mage.
I'm a mage.
Right, I'm a mage. So, what I got in the beginning, I was just like, okay, it's just a bunch of mage robes and shit. It looked like I was wearing like 9 like fucking coats on at the same time for one of these outfits. But yeah, I mean, I didn't like them, okay? I didn't like her. Nothing was superly appealing, right? Only good armors I found were like the Monster Hunter armors that, you know, were from Lords of the Fortune. You know, it looked like fucking super, you know, the super shiny armor you get with like the fucking anime fucking RPG games, MMO games, you know, you get at like level 1. That's the Lords of the Fortune armor. All this design on my body got me drip drip. God, I literally look like a Monster Hunter character, bro. Like, this is literally Monster Hunter gear. You know, this is Capcom freaking attire, you know? Just a whole bunch of golden shit on and just a bunch of drip at like level 1. actually insane. That's how it always is, bro. That's how it always is. That's what I got. You know, that shit was pretty fucking fire. Nah, but I kind of got bored of it quick because, I mean, that was pretty much the only good armor, right? It was that, and also the crow armor was pretty fucking fire. But, I mean, even the crow armor was just like, you know, yeah. But it just, I guess it was just, like, the tone of the game because, like, all the armor was just, like, a bunch of clothes on, and I guess, you know, they're trying to not, like, you know, show too much, you know, skin and nudity. Like, ooh, it's, like, illegal to show skin or whatever. And again, it don't gotta be, like, big boobas, you know, anime type game, Japanese shit, right? But I do want some, I want to show some skin, right? You know? It wasn't too much of that at all. Like, everything was just, like, covered. Everything was, like, a bunch of coats on and shit. That's how it felt. And everything was ugly as shit. But do I prefer it over the Inquisition armors and stuff? I guess. I'm not even gonna try to be funny. I do prefer it over the Inquisition armors because Inquisition, you only got like 5 of the same type of fucking armors. Like the fucking mercenary armors and shit that you got. Mercenary robe and whatever the fuck. You know, just different variations of that. But yeah, so I mean, it's not hard to be better than that, I will say. And the appearances for the armor, like the transmogs and shit, is cool, but I mean, better appreciated if the actual appearances of the armor themselves are like pretty fucking cool. But they weren't. I'm just happy, you know, I didn't get the deluxe edition, right? Because the deluxe edition, the only difference between standard and deluxe edition is just getting a different setup. It's just armor, right? It's just you're getting another set of armor, and then your companions also get the armors too. But I mean, it's nothing crazy. I don't even think I like the deluxe edition armors. I think those shits are ugly. I'm not gonna lie. From what I remember, yeah, I didn't like them. Weapon appearances, you know, I don't give a damn what my weapon looks like as long as it's doing, damage, as long as it's doing what it's supposed to do. I never cared about weapon appearances. Just like in Overwatch, I'm just like, why the fuck, like what? I mean, I can't even really even look at my weapon in the game, you know? It's like first-person shooter, you know? I guess you can, like, it's right in front of you sometimes, but, like, it's just nothing that I, you know, superly care about, right? You know, they try to give me the emerald weapons. They look like fucking doo-doo green weapons, you know? Army green, army soldier shits from, like, Toy Story. I don't care, you know? I care more about, like, my shirt and my pants and, like, you know, a fucking ring, right? So we go to crafting. Crafting is it's kind of weird. It's kind of a weird take to it, this game. It's a little different, right? Well, fairly different from Inquisition. Unfortunately, no, Sandal is not enchanting your armor. It's just some rando fucking spirit from the Fade. I don't know who the fuck that is, but, you know, it's just so random. He gave me, like, Baldur's Gate 3 vibes with that little skeleton dude that's just, like, in every game. But here, he was just a random. He was just a random. It's not even, like, Dagna or anything. Yeah, Dagna would have been cool here. But, or just anybody. I felt like they were teasing Sandal, like, Sandal coming back. Everyone wanted fucking Sandal. Sandal's not here, weirdly enough, so, yeah, whatever. Anyways, so here's how it goes. You level up the enchanter by collecting mementos to get better upgrades and enchantments, and it goes up to basically level 10. So yeah, you level up the enchanter. The better the enchanter level, the more upgrades and shit you can do, basically. And it's somewhat less complex than, you know, Inquisition, I would say. Yeah, I would say so. Or it could be on the same level. No, Inquisition, because you gotta get certain, like, ores and stuff and, like, collect all that shit and, like, gather it together. You know, and then you gotta get the schematic for the weapon. Here, you don't need, like, schematics and shit. You just get the armor and you, like, upgrade it. You don't actually craft stuff. There's no recipes or anything, right? You know? But you do need, like, crafting materials to, like, upgrade the armor and stuff. You're just basically upgrading armor and adding, like, enchantments to the armor. You don't even look for the enchantments or anything. You just automatically have the enchantments, right? It's just right there for you, you know? It's just a separate tab. You click on your fucking your armor, like your helmet or something, and then you just apply the random enchantment that they give you, you know? It's just like, it's already preordained, right? Just like how your rook is predetermined to be, you know. Yeah. There are certain items you need to craft though, but yeah, it's nothing crazy. You also upgrade the merchants in different areas too, and like, you know, the different cities and stuff like Minrath is Treviso. Like every faction area, like the Shadow Dragon area, like Ravane, or the Anderfels, you know, the Grey Warden's got a little merchant there too. So they all have their little, each time you level up the merchants out in the wild, or whatever place you go to, I think it's like up to level 6, you unlock armors and like other weapons and shit that you can buy from the merchants essentially. So like you basically gotta unlock the shit that you want to buy, pretty much. And, you know the good shit you like at like level 4, 5, 6, you know. Yeah, so. Oh, you also upgrade them with not just like, you know, just faction strength, because you need like a high faction strength to like get them up to like a higher level with the merchants. But you also need, I think, like other crafting materials and too, you know, to level them up, level up the merchants. You also need gold also to like level up the merchants. Oh, also with buying stuff, you need gold to pretty much buy everything, but you get like a shit ton of gold in general. I don't know where you get the gold from, but I had like 50k towards the end of the game, and I was just buying a bunch of random shit. But I've always had like a good amount of gold on me, like a shit ton, you know, that I could have wasted on like buying a bunch of stuff, but I just saved it up. But yeah, I just, you know, you'll always have like a big amount of gold. I don't know if they come from quests or not. I'm not sure. I think they do, maybe they do, but I didn't really pay attention because you know, you just get stuff from like missions and stuff, right? And then you're just upgrading them essentially, right? So I never really, like, I looted shit, yeah. Obviously you get stuff from chests. Oh, we gotta talk about the looting animation. Okay, the looting animation is so fucking goofy, bro. You just kick the fucking chest. They tried too hard, like, being fucking quirky with that shit. It just looks so goofy. Like, you just run into the chest, you just fucking kick it, like, come on now. There is mimic chests, so that is pretty interesting. And there is a way, it's not like Elden Ring or some shit where you can't really tell. The mimic chest makes it very apparent, like even before you open it, that it's a mimic. Like it just be stanking, right? It'd be stanking, you can tell. And even when you press the A button or like press like to click on it to open it, you have time to like move out the way. Like, and it just starts like stanking a lot, like, cause then they're like, okay, listen, we stanky, move back, you know, type shit. They make it very apparent, you know, just like the little stupid puzzles that they have. But yeah, but also with increasing faction strength, if you want to get that up, you can also sell your valuables and stuff, which you can collect from chests or, you know, anywhere on the missions throughout the world and stuff. Basically the only point of valuables is like to sell them for faction strength. I forgot to mention this earlier, but yeah, pretty much that. You can also buy them from like other merchants around town, but I think like I didn't buy them from any merchant. I pretty much just picked up all of my valuables. I didn't buy any of them, but I think if you buy them from like another merchant, then you go back to that faction merchant, like the main merchant in that area, and then you can sell those valuables for faction strength. So I think you can do that. Or you can probably just go back to another merchant in another, like, Ravane instead of Treviso where you bought the valuable at. But anyways, yeah, I'm just yapping. But I didn't do that. That's why I'm, like, you know, talking about that. Oh, the Black Emporium. Disappointing. I was expecting powerful-ass items that cost a shit ton. Just like, amazing items to have. And, like, buy and shit, right? They're like absurdly, you know, like fucking overpriced in Inquisition and shit, right? Like, I don't even think I would make like 20k in like one full Inquisition run, you know? And Inquisition is kind of weird, but like the crafting and the armors and shit. This is where it's kind of like an upgrade in terms of Inquisition, whereas like a downgrade in a lot of shit from the other two games. I mean, Inquisition, in terms of like merchants and stuff, you don't really buy shit in Inquisition. Buying shit in Inquisition is stupid as hell. Like, you should not do that shit. That's why I said, like, I only go to Orlais probably once in Inquisition, like, every playthrough. Because that's where you're supposed to buy and shit. And, like, you know, yeah, and sale stuff, yeah. But they don't have good shit to buy. Like, it's all bad. It's all trash, bro. Like, even if they did, it's, like, absurdly overpriced, you know? Right? Or it's, like, shitty stuff. You get better stuff crafting in Inquisition. Like with that crafting, if you don't craft an Inquisition, you can't get like the most powerful shit, right? You can't. It's actually a fact. You fucking can't. But here, you know, in terms of like the Black Emporium, it's disappointment. Yeah, it's disappointment. I don't think there was like a lot of stuff in there. They might like do some updates later in the future, like because I think they had a patch a couple days ago with the game, but like yeah, in terms of Black Emporium, there wasn't really anything crazy in there in terms of like anything amazing. It was pretty much just shit I can get out in the world. Pretty waste of time. I mean, there was like a lot of mementos to buy, but I mean, other than that, like it's not crazy. Disappointing. I was actually really excited to go to Black Emporium, but very disappointed. Last but not least, we have the music. Oh my gosh, we're like almost 2 hours in. We have the music. The music was music. The music was music. Okay, I mean that's all there is to say. I mean, there's not much else to say about it. It was music. It was music. It's not that memorable like the other two games, and I'm not gonna play the music from Inquisition or like, you know, whatever. I think I'll probably have the Origins music in the background right now, but yeah, because it's not copyrighted. All the Inquisition music, funnily enough, and that's really they have really good songs, memorable songs, you know, that I like. It's copyrighted. So like half of my Inquisition playthroughs I posted on YouTube are like copyrighted. I can't make money on them, you know. I mean, I wasn't making money anyways, like, whatever. But I mean, still, like it's fucking copyrighted. Fuck you, Trevor Morris. Anyways, I'm playing. Now, but like that's kind of wild. But yeah, so that's it. Oh my gosh, I really wanted to get this done in like 30 minutes. I did not know it was gonna be an hour and fucking 40 something. This is probably gonna be 50 something when I like end this. But all in all, I would say the game for me as a whole, my final thoughts on the game, what I think about the game, it's an enjoyable game to play, okay? You know, I even started my second playthrough. I mean, well, I made my character for it. I didn't really start it, though, but yeah. Because I want to experience it as a rogue, you know, because everyone's hyping up the rogue class a lot, so. Also kind of want to play as a warrior with the hammer and shit. That sounds pretty fun, but yeah, no, I do like the combat was pretty intriguing. Yeah, it's pretty new for me. I mean, I played stuff similar like that, like I mean, I haven't played Mass Effect, but I mean, I saw clips and videos of Mass Effect. I will play Mass Effect very soon, you know, obviously, like because I got Legendary Edition downloaded. I just didn't play it yet, but I did play Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's pretty similar. It's pretty much the same thing. You know, I think Guardians of the Galaxy took from Mass Effect. I don't know who made that Guardians of the Galaxy game. It's a pretty good game. I didn't finish it though, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like the game. I mean, I could say that, but it could definitely be better, especially with my complaints and like my criticisms and stuff. 100% could be better. Is it a good game? I honestly don't know. Is it a good Dragon Age game? No, obviously not, because it, you know, yeah. I mean, the whole point of Dragon Age is like, you know, top down, you know, get to control your companions and shit. You know, yeah, just having more control in combat and stuff, even if it's like super actiony, you know, maybe like Dragon Age 2 or some shit, right? It didn't really have the vibes of Dragon Age, you know. But as a game itself, is it like good? I think it is. But in my opinion, I think the game is a 7 out of 10. I think it's a 7 out of 10. I think that's a pretty fair score in terms of everything I've said and experienced in the game, and you know, what I think should be in the game and what's not in the game, like what ended up happening to the game. Yeah, I mean, I did expect this to happen. You know, even before the game came out, I'm just like, all right, so this is gonna be between a 6 and a 9. And I know I'm personally probably not going to give it a 9, most likely, you know. And I was leaning towards an 8, even after, like, the reviews and shit came out, like, the review embargo of IGN giving it a 9, like, 10 out of 10. So, oh my god, guys, this is amazing, game of the year type shit. I was like, you know. So I mean I was still like, okay, it's gonna be, I already knew in general the game would be enjoyable to me, you know. But I wasn't, that's why I'm like, I'm differentiating good, I think I said that right, good and enjoyable. It can be an enjoyable shitty dog shit game, you know, right? But it can also, but it don't gotta be like, it can be, they can be different, right? It can be two separate things, right? But anyways, that's why, because I like Inquisition. I think I gave Inquisition a 7 too. Yeah, like I mean, like, it's enjoyable. Is it a good game? I think Inquisition's yeah, it could be a good game. That's probably the difference I would say from Veilguard. No, I think it's both, but it's kind of hard for me to tell because like this game should have been so much more, right? So I'm just like, it's just like a lot of, I'm like disappointed, right? Because it could definitely 100% should have been more than what we got, right? Even if it's like a 7 out of 10, you know, it's like a passing grade, right? But it's like, no, it should have been way better than like what we got, you know? Yeah, I think it's a 7 out of 10. I gave Dragon's Dogma 2 a 6.5 out of 10. And I really enjoyed like Dragon's Dogma. I really enjoyed the first 25 to 30 hours, but once I got the Batal, it immediately like went down. It went down because I mean, I already explained it in my review, but the combat in Dragon's Dogma 2, superb, right? Like, it was pretty fucking, that's pretty much what kept me hooked, right? I liked all of that shit, but everything else about the game, no. No. But yeah, all in all, it's a good game. I mean, it really, it depends on what type of gamer you are at the end of the day, because you know, I am a Dragon Age nerd. I like Dragon Age. I like everything Dragon Age, right? But if I'm giving it a 7 out of 10, then like a normie is probably going to give it like a, you know, maybe less, or like maybe even higher. It depends on what type of, you know, gamer you are, because it could be a game just like good game in itself, right? You know, you can like it for what it is. But I think I don't know, like, I'm really torn, you know. People think like, oh no, but you're getting your opinions from, no, I'm really torn on the game, like, because I enjoyed the game. I think it's a good game, but there is a lot of bad with it, right? There's a lot of with it, right? I mean, you know, you can't deny that. So that's why I was like kind of split, you know, the past couple months. I'm thinking of the game, I'm just like, you know, all these things coming out about it. I'm like, you know, let me get my hands on it, and I still feel the same way. It's not dog shit though, right? It's not dog shit, right? And Dragon's Dogma 2 is not dog shit by any means, you know. 6.5 also, by the way. But yeah, I think it's a solid game. It's a solid game. Definitely could have been better than what it was. 100%. Do I recommend people buying it? Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure, you know, yeah, sure, yeah, I mean, 7 out of 10, sure. Story, you know, I mean, it's, in terms of the story, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, for me, I'm already enjoying it, like, all the lore and stuff from the other games, you know. That's why I was kind of disappointed with the world building and shit. Like, it's like they forgot a bunch of shit, you know, that happened, right? So, yeah. 7 out of 10. It's a okay game. I mean, okay is kind of like a 6 out of 10, but like, you know, it's for me, 7 out of 10. It's okay. Replayability, yeah, but I mean, like, yeah. But did I enjoy it? I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed the combat and stuff. Yeah, it's enjoyable to me. I think it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun, but I'm just overall just disappointed because it should have been better than what we got, 100%, especially if we waited 10 years. I don't care about all the, oh, it was gonna be multiplayer, but then this happened, and all these other things happened, and it kept getting stopped, and, you know, I don't care. It should have been better than what we got, you know. Yeah, what do you think? Comment below. If you like my review or whatever the fuck this was, like, comment, subscribe. Yeah. Alright, that's it. Have a great day. Yippee, yay.
Shot at a black man and took his shoes. Customized my AR like a Black Ops 2. Just scammed a white kid out of some Gorilla Glue. I don't wanna fuck this bitch, she smell like poo-poo.